Today, let's have a look at more advanced handstand push-up exercises using a box. Now today, I'm using this box in the garage, which means I'm limited by height, but I can still do the drills. And obviously you've just got to work with the equipment that you have. So maybe you don't have a box this height, you might have lower steps, P-bars, or a clearance that's different to mine, but you'll just have to adjust and play with the exercise accordingly. Now I'm doing these all freestanding, but you could do them back to wall or chest to wall, depending on what type of assistance you need. Now most of these movements are going to be based around the shoulder stand position. So this bottom of the deficit handstand push-up. So deficit means full range. So we're down here in this position and it should feel like a stopper. So your upper arm has made contact with your torso and your arms can't go any further. So with a standard floor handstand push-up, you'll be touching your head at this point and then coming back up again. So that's the same as coming to here. But what the box does, that allows us to go all the way down to this position. So that's seen as a deficit full range handstand push-up. So number one, we need to make sure that we have a comfortable shoulder stand position. Now notice the angle that I'm in there. So the head and shoulders are this side of the base of support and below, which means that the torso is at that angle and my hips and my legs go backwards in that direction to compensate what's in front and below. So that creates the angle. And if you get that angle wrong, means that you'll either fall down this way towards underbalance and potentially you'll crack your knees on the box, or you'll go over towards overbalance and you need to know how to twist out of the position. And it's worth just playing with those so you fill yourself with confidence and also make sure that you have the space to exit out correctly. So if I go this way, I can exit out this way. If I go that way, I can exit out that way. And then obviously coming out back this way should be quite comfortable because that's the way you go in. Now, if you are super new to that shoulder stand position, maybe start off in a tuck, safe position like this, where I'm very close to the box in terms of my knees and my legs, and I'm going very gradually into the position. I'm not jumping or kicking fast up where momentum might take me over. So very slow, controlled movements into that. But if you're working deficit handstand push-ups, that should already be pretty comfortable. So then we just need to test to see whether we have an eccentric there. So the eccentric will be starting in your handstand position. Ideally, my body would be dead straight, but the ceiling stops me. And then I'm going to come down, enter in that position nice and slow, no gaps, all the way down until collarbone or chest touches. And I show control at the bottom and can exit back out. Now, if you don't have that slow eccentric, you can start to make the movement a bit smaller and just practice entering it. So I could do it from like a squat position, slowly coming forwards, weight's going to go into the hands and shoulders, feet lift up, and then I enter that shoulder stand. Depending on the distance here you have, you could do it a bit more like a pike push-up, coming down like this, and then the feet will come off and then go into it. And then a fun one if you're already working like things like your straddle hold or working towards straddle presses or shoulder presses, I can come around this direction into the shoulder stand. Once I'm comfortable with those slow entries to shoulder stand or the full slow eccentric, I can start to play with some concentric, so coming out of the position. Now it's worth just testing that like it was testing the eccentric. So we're just going to start in the shoulder stand position and see if you can push out. So from the shoulder stand, lots of tension, and then push, and just see whether you can go all the way up. I'm going to run out of space to your handstand. Now obviously if you can do that, that's probably even harder than your standard handstand push-up, starting in the top, coming down to that position and back up, because you're starting from a dead start position. So if you're newer to the deficit handstand push-up moves, you're probably not at that level yet. So how do we make that slightly easier? We can use some momentum, we can use some opening of the body. A little bit like how they use dynamic movements in CrossFit to get more repetitions, or to actually get a handstand push-up like movement where they don't have the strength to do one rep. So we don't really want to do a full kip out of this position, but if we can transfer momentum and go up, it's going to make things much easier. We just have to be a little bit more careful than if we was doing something like a crow to handstand, because a crow to handstand, we can just nearly throw ourselves up to the position, especially if we have a wall behind us. And worst case, we're just going to turn out onto the floor. This is a little bit more risky being elevated, so just be careful with this and just test it with a little bit of momentum first. So I'm going to start at the back, I'm going to have one knee on the box, and then I'm going to go down and up at the same time. So down and then up. And you can see I nearly catapult myself up. So you not only got that momentum taking you, you can also go from a tuck position and open the legs. And then all we do is start to slow that down until you can get closer and closer to that concentric movement. And then what I'd recommend you try is when it's feeling close, is just try from the handstand position, come down and try and go back up again. Now, if you don't feel ready for those progressions yet, keep working your standard handstand push-up drills, whether they're against the wall, freestanding on the floor, Croda handstand and things like that. But I'll recommend that everyone works a shoulder stand of some sort. So whether it's in this position, nice and safe, have someone spot you or close to the wall. If it's in this position, on the P-bars, on a box or on the IKEA steps, and then it's ready to go when you need it. Now, if you want some help with your training, I've got an app, link is down in the description. If you're already using the app, I've now got a Discord, so jump on there, you can ask questions, request any content or updates to the app. The Discord is also open for YouTube members. Let me know down in the comments where you are with your handstand push-ups, and I'll speak to you in the next one.